So you guys were I'm hearing a lot of you guys wanted the theme song shortened, so here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Sometimes she plays them. So does that, and when she does it with the cat, does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. So, it's shorter. There you go. CrazyCatLady or Martha Butler does not own any trailers or pictures. I use them under fair educational for and entertainment purpose. It's like it's all they did. Well, those years ago. See? No, I don't want to do any more of it.
Alright. Hi everyone, Martha here, and you guys are probably wondering, where's this picture come from, or what movie does this picture come from? I don't know if I will still have the same exact title on here, but it's come from Picture of the Heart, and that one, this is an anime that's a Studio Ghibli movie that came out in 1995, and really, this picture is a little bit more famous than the movie, because I knew about this picture before this movie, and this is called A Lorry Girl, which is a girl studying, and basically it's a good thing for studying or listening to music or stuff like that, and have on the background. And I've seen other people have inspired them, like, see, there's a Lego version, there's one where the cat's writing instead, there's ones where one of my favorite YouTubers did a penguin version of it. So yeah, and I don't know how to do it because I'm not very good at figuring out the animated app that people have done with their computers, but yeah, so I can't do it myself. So let's get started. This movie starts out with Country Road be played by some Japanese people, and they do play this song a lot, this movie. And when we get the characters' names out, you see Shu, who is a middle schooler. She's about to take the exam. She's seeing Yuki are taking exams for high school, and she is a bookworm. She likes to read as many books as possible. Like during the summer, she wants to already read 20 books. I have a hard time reading just one book per month. So yeah, no matter how big it is. I remember when I used to read one per week. Now I got it down to where I only read one per month. And I don't know how long summer is during spring, during Japan. Yeah, that's a lot of books to read during one season. For me, I would at least get like 4 if I'm lucky. But anyway, I do like that she likes to read that, but eventually she finds out that there is this other kid named Sanjay who has been reading every single book before she checks it out, and she finally finds a book that he did not read before her, but it actually turns out it's actually his dad who donated it, so he probably did read it before she did. So she tells Yuki about it, and she ends up watching the guy that her friend has a crush on, who actually has a crush on her. She ends up leaving, and Sanji comes over there and grabs the book from her and starts reading him. Then she remembers that she has to go back and get her book, and then they meet technically for the first time, even though he says later on that he sat next to her a couple times after she realizes that this is the boy that has been checking out. Now, at first, she doesn't like him because he does act a little bit mean to her, but because she's writing lyrics for their graduation ceremony, and it's a little similar to the country home lyrics, except for she tweaked it a little bit, and he says that these lyrics are a little bit more corny than the original one, and that makes her so mad. She calls him, he's such a jerk, for the past couple minutes of the movie. Then her sister comes home from where she was going to college, and she comes to stay with her parents for a while before she goes back to college, and she's to share a room with her sister, and her sister is making sure she does her chores, but she tells her to go and get some from the library, go get her lunch for her dad instead. And instead of doing that, she finds a cat who is taking a ride on the subway, and she ends up following it to where one of its many homes goes astray, and goes to an antique store where he meets Sanji's grandpa. She introduces him to two things in the antique store: the Barretts and the clock, which he's been repairing for the past 3 years, and he finally fixed it. He shows her how it works, and it's basically a fairy tale of a dwarf king falling in love with a fairy who can turn his form into a sheep. It's kind of what represents what happens with the Barrett, because the Barrett has which is a cat, and the Barrett has been in another Studio Ghibli movie, which I have seen before this. It's not really necessary to see this movie before that movie, because it's just a spin-off. But to me, when I have to rewatching this, I don't really find it necessary. But I guess it does help. I am gonna have to rewatch it since I haven't reviewed it for you guys. And she ends up, after she finds out about who read the book or all those library books before she does, she goes in and finds out that he likes to make violins, and they sing, and he grabs one of the violins that he already made and starts playing on it, and he makes sure that she sings it, a song that they're gonna sing together, and it ends up being Country Roads, take me home to the place I belong. That song. And the grandpa walks in on it with two other friends, and they end up joining in with her, adding a cello and some other instruments, and playing it in front of for her. And when he tells her that, I want to be a violin maker for the rest of my life, but my parents don't want me to. They want me to do something else because he doesn't want to go to high school. And so they made a deal with him that if he ends up being an apprentice with one of his grandpa's friends for 2 weeks, then and see how good he is, then they'll let him decide. But later on, she doesn't know that when he comes back down for the graduation ceremony, if he'd be gone for 10 years, if he finds out he's actually good at it. And this inspires her to become a writer, and she decides to write the book about the Baroness. And eventually she does find out that the Baroness is from an old friend from the grandpa who he fell in love with right before World II, and a German girl. And since the war happened, those two never got to see each other again, because he went back down to Germany. He never got to find her, and so he never got to reunite the two cat statues together because of this. And so he misses her, and I'm guessing this is I don't know if that's really because he would have had to find somebody else to love, since he would have, in order to have a grandson. But what are you gonna do? She ends up writing the book, and the grandpa says, you can use my character as long as I'm the first person who reads your story. And so once she finishes it, even though it makes her grades go low, because she focuses more on writing the book than studying for her exams, and her parents get mad at her for letting her grades go low when it's important for her to get because the way Japanese goes, if you don't do like so good grades, you don't get into the high school, because that's how it is there. And I guess because right when you get into high school in Japan, you have to know right what you want to be, not when you're graduate from high school. They make them know what they want to do right when they're in middle school. Like, that is really pressuring. But yeah, I don't know, people end up changing their minds eventually once they get out of high school, or come up to something else sometimes, because some people change their minds. But yep, she ends up writing the book, and the grandpa likes the book, but she says she needs to polish it. But I thought he was going to be like her editor, and edit the book for her, because she does need every writer needs an editor, because nobody writes a story good on the first draft. It ends with Sanji saying that, "Would you marry me?" basically, and I'll be because he tells her, I still want to go to high school still, and so she says the same exact thing, and so she doesn't have to worry about not seeing him for 10 years, so that's good. So he asks her, "Would you marry me?" and she nods. It's technically a romance, but in a way it's not, because it's more about a girl struggling with what she wants to do with her life. So yeah. But I'm probably going to get this one like an 8 out of 10. It's not my favorite Studio Ghibli one. I think that one's still Princess Mononoke, which I still haven't... Or, Kiki Delivery Service, one of those two. I also like Spirit Away, but yeah. So, there you guys go. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and now you guys know, where does the Lori girl come from? What movie does she come from? And she comes from this movie. I mean, it's not, her hair looks completely different, but they made it, but it's where they kind of do get the idea for it from. So yeah, so I'll see you guys later. Like, favorite, and subscribe. And I do like this movie. It's about a girl writing a book about a cat that's barren. Yeah, so bye bye. Kind of like a Puss in Boots character in a way. So like, favorite, subscribe, and remember, almost heaven, West Virginia, Burrell Ridges, Mountain, Shield Rivers, life is old. They're older than trees, younger than the mountains, growing like a breeze. Country roads take me home to a place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads. Bye bye.